Hello and welcome to IG's Trading the Markets. I'm Victoria Scholar, and join me on the pod today is Alex de Groot from de Groot Consulting. And we're here to talk about Tesla after its CEO Elon Musk suggested on Twitter that the company has received 250,000 pre-orders for its Cybertruck. At the moment, Tesla's only taking pre-orders which cost $100 a go, not considered to be proper deposits. Now, Musk already came under fire last year for his use of Twitter after suggesting that the company was looking to go private. Alex, good to talk to you. Now, first he tweeted 200k earlier in the week, now it's 250k. Do you think there's a risk that the SEC could get involved here like it did last year?
That's right, yeah, there is history here. That's right, Victoria, where he indicated last year that he might like to take the company private at a given valuation, which I think wasn't really strictly according to the rules. In terms of Cybertruck and this latest incident, it's tricky, isn't it? Because I think he wants to communicate indications over volume and expectations, but at the same time he's got be a little bit careful over giving out detailed forecasts. And Twitter has a nasty habit of going viral, and sometimes not always very accurately. So he's got form. Investors know that, and if you're invested in Tesla, I think you have to expect that Elon Musk will be quite vocal on social media.
How optimistic are you about the Cybertruck, and does the rather disastrous launch bear any indication about the potential success of the product?
I think I'm actually quite optimistic about Cybertruck. I mean, what I would say is that the street, or investors in general, work best when they've got hard numbers to play with and are able to try and devise a value which they can stick onto the valuation overall of Tesla. I think probably because at the moment all we really have is pre-order information and price points, it's a little bit hard to do that sort of calculus. So personally, I'm on side with what he's doing, but I can see that the street will probably want a little bit more information just to be a little bit more informed in terms of the upside that might accrue as and when Cybertruck comes on stream.
In its latest earnings at the end of October, we saw quarterly revenue in the United States for the first time drop in more than 2 years. But we know Tesla's expanding in China and Europe, so which are the geographies that are the real linchpin for its future success?
Yeah, I mean, I think you go for the big consumer markets, which increasingly does mean China, obviously the States as well, and maybe to a lesser extent some of the Asian markets. I think they remain the key markets in terms of new product sales, new product penetration. So China is a new angle on the story, but I think given the experience of Apple last year and various other NASDAQ and US quoted stocks, investors tend to be a little bit wary about getting overexcited about the Chinese growth optionality.
There's a real tug of war going on between the bulls and the bears on the stock. Which camp are you in?
I think overall I'm relatively bullish on the market, and I see Tesla as being a proxy for positive market sentiment. I see it having sort of positive beta in that way. So net, I'm probably inclined to be on the buy side on this particular name. And if you sort of look adjacent at the rest of, for example, the FANG stocks, which have all rallied very strongly year to date with the exception of Netflix, you can see that the overall market appetite is very much for growth, and Tesla certainly fits the bill there. So for me, Cybertruck is interesting option value on the upside.
The stock has had an impressive run really since the lows this summer, rallying by more than 75%. Do you think there's more upside to come?
Yeah, I very much do. I mean, most of your listeners will be aware of the Santa rally, which tends to kick in about this time of year, last week of November into December, when momentum really becomes the key factor in markets, macro conditions notwithstanding. And then you can tend to have really quite positive runs into December. So this stock could track up over the next month or so from its current level of about 345. I think, could be good for the high 300s.
All right, that's all we've got time for. That was Alex de Groot from de Groot Consulting. I'm Victoria Scholar, and thanks for listening to IG's Trading the Markets.